Black people, y'all kill me. I saw The Little Mermaid and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. It did amazing in the box office and deserved it. You know, I thought the casting, like, to me, a remake being able to get the casting that good, shout out. Like, it was really, really well done. But now we got think pieces that are telling us that it missed out on slavery. And it's not an accurate depiction of the times. And sometimes I just wonder, when will we be happy? Like, when can we just sit and enjoy something for a moment? When can we say support this so that we can double back and do something bigger and better, more accurate? But why can't we just enjoy some things sometimes? Like, sometimes it's like, well, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, but your worst enemy are your people. And I hate when people say, like, Black people, we don't. And I'm always the person to be like, no, this is why we're this way. But when I saw The Little Mermaid and the slavery comment, I said, oh, y'all really just don't like being happy. Y'all don't like being happy. You know, y'all are like, we kids need to know the truth. I'm not even getting to the biggest, this is ridiculous. Like, it's like y'all literally found, it's like y'all thought it was good, but you're like, let me find something let me find a reason that nobody should watch it. Like, is there a secret society of haters to remind us that we still got a long way to go? Like, we know the racism problems will not be solved because they made Disney characters Black. We're Black 100% of the time. We know it ain't solving all the race divides in America, but damn it, can we just enjoy it? Can we just sit there and say, you know what, Halle did a beautiful job. She was beautiful. The casting was amazing. The singing was great. I love the fact that it was an extremely diverse cast. Can we just sit there and be like, you know what, for a live action, when we don't even like remakes, they did a really, really good job? Can we? For at least 2 weekends. Can we look at the fact that it's doing terrible overseas and say, you know what? That's because it's still hard for other nations to see us other than the propaganda that media has perpetuated for so many years. So they don't even want to support something like this. So let's do our due diligence to celebrate and support us, because when one of us wins, we all win. Can we understand that little kids have the ability to see themselves in a character that is revered for years? That when they see it in a store, they can embracing the fact that it looks like them. Can we just, like, for a second, before we bring out the fact that they didn't discuss slavery? When you pay attention to the storyline, they were focused on one storyline, one specific storyline. But let's also, like, let's get right into it. Can we also remember that it's about a mermaid who is speaking to a talking octopus, who gives up her voice magically, who magically gives up her voice and is held in this necklace that the octopus gave to her. And then she got regular legs from being a mermaid. Can we just remember that this is all fantasy before we got to bring in slavery? Like, I understand we want to make sure history is accurate, but if in a movie full of make-believe, I think we can kind of leave that part out. That's all I'm saying. Like, we are so much an adult sometimes that we forget we were once young, innocent children, and we really didn't give a shit about the politics that we put in our lives to make us more stressed out on a daily. We can't just let kids just be happy. We always got to put our 2 cents in it. And sometimes I'm just like, dang, I get you're miserable and I get that you're frustrated that racism is still alive and well. But do not put that on these little kids. Like, let them be Little Mermaids. Shit, let me be Little Mermaid. I want to be a mermaid. I want to enjoy the fact that I have a mermaid that looks like me. And then I want to enjoy the fact, because I had dreads my entire life until I was 25 years old. I had locks. And I knew not one person that looked like me beside my sister and this kid I went to school with. Only 2 people I ever grew up with. I remember going to college and people having all of these opinions because they never saw a girl with neat hair like mine. And can we just be happy that young kids with locks can see a girl in the water being a Disney princess with locks? Like, can we just let them have a moment before we sit there and we say it ain't accurate because they ain't talking about slavery, and we need to make sure our children know about slavery and have an accurate depiction of history, but we're going to overlook the fact that she's talking to a crab with the accent from the Caribbean and a fish, and she all of a sudden gets legs and her voice is taken away. Like, can we, if we're going to ignore all of those because this is a make-believe story, I just think I could be wrong. There are so many parts of our history that I get so upset that we can't tell it without having to incorporate slavery and racism. And I get very upset when I look at history and I'm like, damn, what did we ever do for you to hate us so much? Like, that is literally my response every time I see something. And I'm just like, why do people just hate us for the color of our skin? Why do people make us feel inferior? I understand why things were done the way they were, blah, 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 all that good stuff. But sometimes I wish, as an adult that's very aware that I understand a lot of my history, and even I wish sometimes I can see a historical movie and they can just kind of skip over the parts where they did us fucked up and not lose any essence in it, because I still feel like there are ways to tell our history and focus on the good parts. I just think we get so jaded on wanting to be so black pride that we don't understand pride when it's sitting right in front of us. And I don't know about y'all, but to see a black girl with locks become a Disney princess where she is the character the entire time. They ain't turned into a frog the first 10 minutes. She ain't turned into no pigeon, you know. We've never seen this. And the first thing we do is start talking about slavery. It's so ridiculous. It's hilarious. It's like, you know, sometimes I feel like we are so messed up in racism and prejudice and division that we can't even just enjoy those moments of like, damn, this is cool. Listen, when it comes to Little Mermaid, I'm sitting here like, this is cool. I'm going to go back to talk about we need to do this, that, and the third tomorrow. But when it comes to this subject, I'm sitting here like, this is cool. I'm not sitting here saying Disney don't got a lot to fix and all of that. And we still got a long way to go for representation and inclusion in Hollywood. I understand that. You know, I understand that. But I'm in this moment for this movie, and it sucks that people could take away that moment and give more people a reason not to support and see this movie so we cannot get more projects like this made. Because I do understand bad box office numbers means it will be harder for the next movie to come out. I understand we want to be so profound to call out when things aren't done right, but sometimes I just wish maybe we can just take a moment and be like, this is cool. I appreciate the fact that now my daughter has a reason to have a Disney princess thing because there is a princess that looks like her. But you know what? Y'all go ahead. Y'all have y'all think pieces, your discourse about slavery and the Little Mermaid. I'm going to sit on the side of gratitude. That's my piece. I saw it and I was just like, come on. I saw it and, you know, I understand people will not agree with me and, you know, to each your own, but that's just all I wanted to say on this. So let me know your thoughts. If you haven't seen it, I do urge you to go see it. I thought it was really good. And y'all, and this is just the last thing I'm going to say. Don't come talking about The Little Mermaid is pushing the wrong agenda when it is actually less about the theme that the original one was about. So if you're going to boycott this one because you're like, it's all about a man, make sure you really not watching the original because that one is absolutely about a man. So I'll see you in the comment section.